bears. Join in the conversation. Light up the bear. Like I say, if we've just had a good bit of time, pretty much direct communication, because again, with me saying the paranormal thrives on coincidence, you've seen that whole conversation happen, where I'm waffling on, and that has said very related things to what I'm talking about. But obviously I've not said any of those words, so it's not taking what I've said and spat it back out. If it does listen, which I don't believe it does, it's had to look through the entirety of conversation, pick out the theme of that conversation, and throw that back out.
Billy.
Billy? Is your name Billy? The interesting as well to see what names it's often saying here, because I don't know how many times it said Billy. If Billy is here, can you light up the bear? But yeah, that whole bit, like between, well, a bunch of it. There were a couple of times, weren't there, with the whole, because he did it earlier on with like the devil is real and whatnot. But this particular bit where it says analysed up to they did spells, like I'm gonna have to put that as a timestamp, because that, again, 6 words, right? 5 words. 5 words worth of thing, and it can take a minute to say a word, so that's like 5 minutes maybe of conversation, maybe a bit more if it's taken longer than a minute, which I don't think it did, but where the app has just been in sync kind of with what I've been saying. It does that, like these little bursts.
You're being followed.
You're being followed. That's interesting given the taxi incident. Okay, what am I being followed by, Spirit? Can you be more specific? What am I being followed by? I don't mind that. I like the company, you know? The company is good. But what am I being followed by? You've just been like giving direct responses for like 2 chunks of words worth of this app, so of this investigation. So come on, what am I being followed by?
Be careful.
Be careful. Again, this is like direct, like, yeah, this is just. Why should I be careful, Spirit? See, this is what I expect from the 28-day cycle. For it to have reached a point where it's suddenly like, you know what, we're actually going to talk to you properly now, we can communicate fluently. That's the point of the 28-day cycle. By the 28th day, you're supposed to have fluent spirit communication. Because your intent is there, you've made it well and truly clear that your intentions are to communicate with the spirit, so they are getting energy and being like, yes, we will talk to you. Why should I be careful, Spirit? Now this would be a perfect opportunity for you to repeat something that you've said in the list. Come on, Spirit, why should I be careful? See, again, even with like when it said they did spells earlier, it could have been like oldie worldy speak of they did spells it wrong, you know? So there's a way that fits in, and obviously it's not saying anything about witchcraft, so there's no reason to assume witchcraft related things with they did spells, but. Oh, why should I be careful?
We're apprehensive.
You're apprehensive. I'm not 100% on the meaning of the word apprehensive, Spirit. I need to look that up when doing the word analysis. I'm being outsmarted by a spirit. To be fair, I should be, because they are all
Mum.
mum. Interesting, especially it's the English spelling. See, that just implies it could just be an English person that's made the app. So, you'd expect a lot of these kinds of apps to be American. Because we don't really discuss the paranormal in the UK. It's not an openly discussed topic. You've got. Most Haunted is pretty much. Yeah, you've got Most Haunted. You've got Help My House is Haunted. They're the two fairly well-known things in culture for paranormal stuff. But outside of that, I'm unaware of any paranormal, well-known paranormal teams for the UK. Obviously you've got Ghosts of Britain, but they're just Facebook. They do little bits and pieces on TV, but
Wind.
That's interesting. I didn't mention it, but I did hear a creak to my left. So for it to have said wind, kind of been like, that wasn't me. But like I said, I didn't mention it, so that really I shouldn't have mentioned it now, because that's just invalid. It's only validated when I've said it or I'm about to say it. But it is windy outside. I will say that. Yeah, you're being followed. Be careful. We're apprehensive. Like, should I be careful because you're apprehensive? Again, I don't know the meaning of the word apprehensive, so I need to look into that. It's a word I've heard, but it's one where you're like, no, I don't actually know the meaning of it. Can I have it in a sentence? You know, it's one of them. Doesn't apprehend. Doesn't like apprehending to gain. I don't know. Doesn't mean that they're iffy. I don't know. It's one of them. Right, you've got a bit quiet now again, Spirit.
I like the forest.
You like the forest. You said the forest earlier, Spirit. Again, that's becoming a narrative. Stuff about the forest has kind of slowly crept in. With, the
Night whispers.
night whispers. That's a weird one. I don't even know what that means, Spirit. Night whispers. That sounds more poetic, doesn't it? It's kind of the impression you get from, if there's someone who likes walking around in the forest. It said, I'm in the trees previous, not today, but other investigations, it said that. So if there's a spirit that likes being in the forest and, like I say, it sounds poetic, just sitting up in a tree, writing down a poem, being like, oh, night whispers in the fair breeze, that kind of thing.
Lake.
Lake? You're suddenly talking a lot about nature, Spirit. Do you like being outdoors? Because this is a narrative, it's touched on, but it's not full on gone into it. Because again, you've got a kind of 4-word list here. Wind, I like the forest, night whispers. They're all things I'd associate with being outdoors and in nature. Even night whispers, I'd associate that with being outdoors and in nature, just because of how poetic it sounds. And combined with forest and lake and things, it paints a very clear picture. Come on, Spirit, you've gone a bit quiet again now. Do you like being outside? But one of my candles is going out. Yeah, for anyone watching currently, the footage will be uploaded to YouTube, and it's had some really good responses on Spirit Talk today. Like proper, I've been rambling on, and it's kind of given good conversation back to me about my ramblings on. Because there have been a good couple of segments where it's been about 6 words in a row each time, where I've been like, you know what, they're all related to one another.
Heal.
Heal. Again, heal is kind of to do with the natural world. And yeah. See, these aren't really words that I can build on, Spirit. Because I'm not, you know, you said heal, I'm not quite sure what to ask with that. Were you in need of healing? Again, it does sound somewhat poetic. Wind, I like the forest, night whispers like heal. It's like it's kind of telling a poem about. I mean, you know what? It reminds me of Harry Potter, of the scene in Prisoner of Azkaban where playing. You can play with the bear if you want. Yeah, I was about to say, it reminds me of the scene in Prisoner of Azkaban where Harry and Sirius are by the lake during the night and surrounded by forests in need of healing. That's kind of what it's reminding me of when it said those words. Play with the bear. Play with the bear. If you want to play it. Oh, 2 candles are going out. Yeah, the middle one's still there. Yeah, that candle's just come poof. The back one's still just about lit, I think. But this front one's just gone out. Right, I'm going to light that front candle. Ooh, just dripping wax everywhere. Oh, it's on the hour. I've got a good 15 more minutes or so. 15 more minutes. Maybe a little bit longer. We'll see.
Scroll.